Hi, YouTubers. It's Shari with more of Just My Opinion. And I wouldn't normally speak out on this topic because I try to stay away from it. I mean, I've addressed it a couple times in the audio podcast of Just My Opinion, but I was hoping here in this format and just, no, got to put in my 2 cents, or as I was told a child, my buck 50. If you haven't heard already, there's statements, there's editorials, there's people going on and on and on about the statement United Airlines put out about having having more people than just what they have already. They're wanting to include more people who are not white and people who are women, which kind of, I don't know, I think that excludes the other 799 genders, but, right now they only want to hire men and women. So I say let them hire men and women. But they're I can see the reasoning for making sure opportunities are given to people who may not already have access, getting them to the front of the line to at least interview to find the most qualified of people who seem to be left out for jobs. Okay, I'm not against that. There needs to be more of that. There needs to be a reflection of the community population, and I'm all for that. What I'm not for is, for example, up here in Humboldt, I'm from Humboldt, by the well, not from Humboldt. That's where I'm currently. Here in Humboldt, our local health system hired a bunch of doctors, and for this local health system, you have to be extremely qualified for a menial job. You have to be like 3 times qualified for a pittance of a job. And our health system hired more doctors with, in the specialty areas of medicine that is pretty lacking up here. A lot of it is primary care. And there was a group shot of all the doctors that were hired, and on the public vomitorium thread, somebody made the comment, well, that's not a lot of diversity, is there? Or it's something about being monochromatic. And I thought it was really hilarious, not because I think that they're wrong, but I believe that the more specialized a field you are in, that quotas, and that's what they are, quotas should not be the main reason to hire. Saying that you need to hire based on the reflection of the community is like saying, well, let's everybody get undressed, walk across the stage, and that's how we're going to hire you. We're going to assume you're all equally qualified, but we're going for optics here. It's almost like auditioning for a play or a movie role. And hiring has turned into this casting couch of an idea where we're not really concerned too much about if you can act or if you know your lines, but the fact that when you come out on the stage and before you even open your mouth and prove that you're an idiot, we want things to look good. Um, United Airlines is saying, and again, I applaud them for wanting to include more pilots that are qualified first, and then women, and then people who are in other backgrounds. I'm not going to say people of color. I'm not going to say this or that because color of skin is being weaponized. And we are like starved Rottweilers kept in this closed, tight pit. And every once in a while, the people who have us penned throw in a raw steak or a rabbit with its ear cut off. And all we do is smell blood. And we're like, we have this berserker bloodlust over what's between their legs, what is on their chest, what is their DNA birthright. And, in fact, there was not just Germany that based your promotions and your value to society and the loyalty to the party based on, hey, didn't you have a so and so in your background? Yeah, you're probably not the right fit, but try again in 10 years. So Germany does not have the corner on that market, even though that seems to be the pair of panties that everyone swings in the air. Back to United Airlines. When the plane is crashing to the ground, the last thing that crosses my mind is, gee, I'm sure glad that United Airlines is hiring based on diversity. I'm thinking, oh my God, why didn't they hire someone who's qualified? When I climb onto a plane, when I board a plane, I'm not looking over to like, it's like, is that male or female? Can I see through the seams of their pants to see what's swinging or not? My main concern from the time that the seatbelt light goes on till the time that it taxis into the airport so we can disembark, my only thought is, dear God, don't let this be my last flight, or don't let an airplane food be my last meal. And I mean, I don't care who you are. I mean, obviously, somebody must care. And again, if they if a company wants to take all of the qualified applicants, they're all equally qualified, and then say, okay, so what is the breakdown? It's like we even everything being equal, let's hire a couple more women this time. Let's hire a couple more of people in this group. But that don't don't hire somebody who has my life in their hands just based on, well, again, the office place is looking a little monochromatic. I certainly don't want one doctor over another based on their background, their skin color, their sexuality, their sex. Okay? Has nothing to do with the fact that they were chosen over somebody who's actually qualified. My main concern when I'm seeing a doctor is when I'm under anesthesia, are they going to nick an artery and am I going to bleed out on the table? Why can't that be the qualifier? And again, make a pool of equally qualified applicants. And then take a look at, okay, like I said before, let's hire one extra woman this time. Let's hire one extra, however you want to divide Americans, however, whatever that helps you get off. Hire based on qualifications. Hire based on someone who has the best job or has the best qualifications and experience, and that you just feel like it's a good fit. Well, a lot of people don't realize that when you are either the person being hired or interviewed, or the person doing the interviewing or the hiring, is you're not hiring just another body. You're not like replacing one sprocket and putting in another. A well-oiled, well-maintained company or business or anything, you aren't hiring, you are adopting, you are bringing into the fold, into this well-oiled family, somebody that will maintain the lube of the unit. Don't you know, really, last thing I want when looking for a job is to worry about up the wrong hole. That too. I don't want to worry about somebody hiring me based on social diddling. Keep your hands out of my pants and from underneath my shirt. Just find out if I can do the job. And given the chance, I will do a very good job. That's what we should be looking for. We shouldn't be we shouldn't be hiring only on one thing or having sex or the tone of your skin being the main qualifier. Hire somebody who can come to work, clock in, and do their job. And when they leave, when they clock out, you don't have other people trying to clean up the mess because why do we hire this guy? Those are the most toxic work environments. Those are the most toxic families. And if you aren't able to sustain that environment, then your whole company takes a nosedive. Again, going back to United Airlines. And if you haven't already subscribed to this podcast or this channel, feel free to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. To maintain a healthy work environment, a healthy work family, you want a person who best represents and exemplifies the meat and potatoes, the skin and bones of your workplace. Makes it a pleasant place to go. Doesn't turn it into, yeah, so and so just left. Yeah, I know. You get the bucket, I'll get the mop. We'll clean up this mess. Those environments lose more employees than anything. So to hire somebody based on their skill, their experience, their willingness to get up to their elbows and knees in the dirt, those aren't a bad thing. In fact, those are the best thing. That should be the only thing that we're worried about. Not just because we're checking a box. Speaking of boxes, if you haven't already gone over to podcast streaming or podcast download sites, you can find my podcast, Just My Opinion, written the same way as on this YouTube channel. And I have an episode called Not Enough Boxes. Once you listen to the episode, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It's pretty much the same thing that's going on in this live video. Hire who is capable. Hire who will add to the work environment, not take away from it. Again, yes, I know there are workplaces that seem to hire the same people over and over again. And if we're looking for diversity, in my opinion, what we should do is gather everybody who's qualified, equally qualified. Again, going back to the naked walking across the stage analogy and saying, okay, everyone is equally qualified, everyone is the same on paper. And if we need to hire one more of him, one more of her, then go ahead. But at least there aren't any doubts as to why they got the job, and there won't be any bitterness or backbiting. Again, just my opinion. For anyone who would like to comment on this live stream or any other I have posted, my email address, just.my.opinion.podcast2020@gmail.com, is on the banner of this channel. Remember to subscribe, like, and share. I also have my Cash App info on here if you would like to support either the YouTube or the podcast. Just make sure to note which one you are supporting so I know where to thank you. And I appreciate my subscribers. I appreciate you taking the time to follow Just My Opinion. And in the future, I hope to get enough of a following where I can finally go live on my phone and we can do some videos out in public and not just here hidden in the closet.